like me, you have been feeling so hardcore that it's time to start something that you felt that you were going to be doing at a certain time in your life. It's like, now it's like, we're not playing around. We got to do it. I got to write that book. I got to start that business. I got to get my life together. I got to focus on my health. I got to be better at this, better at that, be more disciplined, whatever it is. Now more than ever, you're feeling it rising to the surface in you. And it's like, that's all you're thinking about. That's all you want to work on. But when you're about to break through to become a new person, to start a new journey in your life, to transition jobs, to transition from living in a poverty mindset to receiving abundance, when you're in transition in any way in your life, guess who's mad? Your biggest hater, the enemy, right? So I'm not going to hold you. Sometimes your biggest enemy is you holding you back. But also the enemy's going to latch on to you trying to hold you back. So let's say you're finally feeling confident. You're ready to step out in faith. You're ready to go ahead and get your life together. And then you start letting your intrusive thoughts win. Then the enemy's going to chime in just right along and fit in and say, you're not good enough. You're weak. You can't do this. Look how you act. How's God going to use you to do this? How are you going to do that? You didn't go to school for that. Anything that you find as an insecurity or anything that makes you feel like an imposter in an area God is calling you to, the enemy's going to be like, yeah, you're right. You can't do it. And it's just going to be a bombardment of insecurity, of feeling not good enough, of feeling like you can't do the thing God called you to do. And I am here to tell you, when you're about to do better, something is always going to pull you back. And many of us stay in this place of tug of war, back and forth. It's like you get close to doing better. You get close to leaving a toxic relationship. You get close to leaving behind the addiction. You get close to leaving the thing that makes you stop doing what you know you should do. But every time you let that win, you let that voice win, you let the enemy win, you agree with it, and you just stay comfortable. You stay where you don't have to step out in faith. You stay where you don't have to trust in God. You stay where you don't have to become a better person. You stay where you don't have to heal. And so you attract the same thing over and over again. Over and over again. You live in this loop. But when you finally get tired of living in a loop of being pulled back and pulled back and pulled back, guess what? Guess who's there to pick you up, lift you up, and strengthen you and put you where you need to be? I'll tell you something. You feel the most resistance when you're about to go over, when you're about to break through, when you're about to become and be and live in a permanent change. Live as somebody who believes that God said that you are called to do this thing and be confident in it. And no one can shake you. Not your mom, not your friends, not your boyfriend, not your husband. No one can shake you. Not the things that have been trying to pull you back. And so when you're about to reach that point, you reach the most resistance. But guess what? I'm here to tell you, okay, that there's a whole army behind you. God doesn't leave you without help. If he's calling you to better, go with him. As long as he's with you, you're going to go through it. As long as you believe, as long as you have faith, you're going to go through it. How do I know? How do I know that when I feel the weakest, God's going to be with me? We're going to read in 2 Corinthians 12:9 says, and he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. And so what does he say? What does Paul say as he's writing it? Therefore, I'll boast in my weakness. I'm happy I'm weak in this area because that gives God a place to give you strength. That gives God room to work. That gives God a place in your life to push you through what you can't do. And most of the time, God will show you that you can't do it on your own. And that's why you've been in this loop, just like the Israelites who wandered in the wilderness. That's why you've been in a loop. That's why you're going back and forth and tug of war of becoming this better person. You want healthier relationships. You want to be healthier. You want to be an entrepreneur, but you keep getting pulled back. That doubt, that fear, you keep coming into agreement with that. But as soon as you realize where you're weak, where your mind is weak, and when you give it to God, he will be made perfect in that weakness. And so be encouraged. That loop is over. You're feeling the push to be that better person permanently. You're feeling the push to have more discipline, the push to have healthier relationships, the push to heal and live as a healed person, because it's time for you to take authority and dominion in that area of your life. But to do that, you're going to have to admit, you can't do it on your own. And because God is with you, you're going to break through. You're going to push through. Period. It's time to get out of this cycle. It's time to get out of the cycle, because every time you go to be better, you get that resistance and then you stop believing that you can do it. And so you live comfortably where you've been for the past 10 years. No more. You're becoming a different person. You're coming up a new level. And this is the time. And like I said, that's when the resistance is the most. And that's how you can tell it's time for you to jump, to go. So it's time to believe and expect better for yourself. It's time to jump out in faith and become that thing that God has already sanctioned you to be. You're supposed to have healthy relationships. You're supposed to have a job that you like to work. You're supposed to be living in purpose and working in your passion. You're supposed to be having peace. You're supposed to be living with joy, not depression, anxiety, having people tell you that you're not good enough or you telling you you're not good enough. That's not where you're supposed to be. Where you're supposed to be is full of peace and joy and fulfillment. And so God's trying to break you into that area, and you need to understand and worship him in spirit and in truth and say, Lord, I can't do this on my own, but if you about to break me forward, I'm ready to go. Let's go. Because I'm tired of living like this. I'm tired of being in a loop, of being pulled back every time I want to do better. I want to do better. And so I need you to be with me. And when you tell him that, you will go. And you must believe it to receive it. So I'll leave you with this. That desire to be better didn't come from you, babes. It comes from God. So the hope that you have for better is placed in you by God, because he already has prepared and ordered your steps. He's already prepared and ordered your way. He's already has those things laid out for you. And so you hope for it. You have this desire for it because you must go forward into it. And so it's been on your heart. It's been on your mind for years, and you keep tug of warring back and forth. But guess what? It's time now. No more are you going to be in that circle back and forth. This is going to be a permanent push, a permanent change. You are the you that God has called you to be. That's who you are. And so you need to start speaking like it. You need to start acting like it. You need to start telling people about it. You need to believe it and live like it. Live like you believe it and receive it and walk into it. But I'll leave you with that, okay? I just want to get that off because I feel like someone needed to hear that. I needed to hear that. That blessed me. So I pray it bless you as well. And I hope y'all have a good day.